What's up guys? Today we're at our local park. We're going to be checking out the property, seeing what kind of weeds they got, what kind of grass they got, what we would recommend if this was our lawn, and what we can do to fix it. Let's go check it out. As we're walking through this lawn here, you can kind of see this patch of grass that looks a little greener than the rest of it. Obviously this isn't getting a lot of water right now, but actually this is a coarse fescue or a type of wide blade fescue. It could also sometimes be known as Kentucky 31 fescue. It's just an old variety of seed that was used back in the day. It's not really a good variety nowadays compared to our traditional perennial rise and our Kentucky blues. It doesn't match in very well. Also in here we have our broadleaf plantains or our buckhorn plantains. That's another type of broadleaf weed. It spreads its blades pretty wide out and it can actually pretty much take out a lot of the grass around it because how much it's spreading those leaf blades. As we continue to walk here, we obviously have some clover here. Typical clover, you know, it's in its nice kind of form where it forms these little huge dense patches of clover. It's going to continue to slowly spread throughout this lawn as well. As we keep walking, we just have a plethora of broadleaf weeds here. You know, you got your dandelion, more plantain, more clover. We have this, which looks like could be a different type of clover here. A very fine bladed clover and more dandelions. If you're wanting to have the perfect lawn, 10 out of 10, something that looks amazing all year round and you can water this thing with proper irrigation, I would recommend a Keloff here. Primarily because with this wide-bladed fescue, coarse fescue, or any other type of grassy weeds in the lawn out here, there are no products that can take these grass patches out without hurting your existing grass, so there's no selective. So essentially, if you wanted this out and you wanted a good grass all through here that matches, you would essentially have to kill off everything and start fresh. Okay, now that can be costly, but we do have customers that want to go that route because they want that lawn to look nice and beautiful and match. If you want to see the process of how a kill-off works, how we did a kill-off in the past, check out this video here. As we're walking around this park, we notice, you know, we have this green grass here that's kind of right in the middle of all this dormant grass. It looks like this is actually a warm season grass. It looks like it's Bermuda to me. Bermuda thrives in 80-degree plus temperatures. It thrives down south, but unfortunately it kind of gets in our cool season grasses. This is kind of what it ends up looking like. And if we don't do anything about this, this would continue to slowly kind of grow as you see and just take over this whole patchy area. The only way to really get rid of Bermuda is there are a few specialty applications, but ideally the best thing would be to do would to kill this area completely off and start fresh if you wanted to get this Bermuda out of your lawn. We know it's Bermuda because as we can see here, it has a very long lengthy root system that runs underground. You can see I'm pulling it up and it has all these shoots that come off of that main stem here, and usually the grass is at a 45-degree angle as compared to that main shoot, and that's how we can kind of tell that this is a Bermuda species of grass. Walking through this park here right now, we are in this nice little irrigated patch right here. You can tell it's irrigated because the grass is nice and green, but as you look down on the edges, you can start to see all the crabgrass kind of taking over. It looks like there's a little bit of spurge in there too. Crab and spurge are synonymous with each other in the summer. They're both summer annual weeds and they love very sun, dry, hot weather we're getting. What can you do to get rid of an area like this that's full of crabgrass and weeds? There's a couple different options. You can try to hand pick it, but a lot of the times that's just gonna come right back and you don't wanna do that. Second option is a control measure. Let's say a control product such as a herbicide. You wanna make sure you're using the right broadleaf herbicide that is labeled for crabgrass or for spurge. There are different varieties of crabgrass as well. There's large, there's smooth, there's other grass types as well that some of those same products can get, but you always wanna make sure you're identifying the correct weed, what you're spraying, because you wanna make sure that product is labeled for that weed. Third, let's say you don't wanna spray at all. You wanna go completely organic or you just don't like chemicals. That's fine. It's gonna look ugly for a little while, but a little secret I got for you. With the first freeze, crabgrass actually does not like the frost or any type of cold weather. So the first hard freeze we get in the late fall, early winter, all the crab is actually gonna die out from that. So you can just wait for that time again and not even spray a single thing, and it'll be gone once we get that first freeze. As we're looking at this area too, we don't see a lot of crabgrass in the middle. We mostly see it on the edges. That's because that's where all the stress and pressure and the hot spots, we call it, are happening because that sun is hitting this pavement, and all the heat's moving off of this pavement right into this lawn right here. That's why we see all these thin spots right here. There's no grass. Well, inevitably, where there's no grass, there's gonna be crabgrass that's just slowly taking over, coming right in here. You can see it's just thick. It's gonna start spreading out. That's why it's called crabgrass. And it's gonna slowly take over all these little patches here eventually and choke that grass right out. So we were walking around this park. We were looking at different weeds, different grass types, different pressures, and what can happen from those pressures of the sun, of pavement, of bare spots, stuff like that. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Give us a like, follow, subscribe, ask us any questions you may have. Tune in next time. Thanks.